Good morning, everyone. I've got the prime slot here before you've gotten sleepy or tired or whatnot. I usually get the 4 o'clock slot. Literally, I have been going over and over and over this speech in my head for the last 2 days. It's 5 minutes. Like, how is this possible? The question is, what is impact and how do I think about that? And so I have all my modules, and I've been trying to figure out what to lead. Do I go with shock, the inequities, the tech revolutions, whatever it happens to be? Here's how it's gelled literally 10 minutes ago. So I'm going to give this a run. What is impact? I was watching Simon Sinek interview his mentor, Bob Chapman, the reason for why. And Bob said the purpose of his company, a $1.8 billion industrial services company, is to find talent, to develop talent, to share talent, and to celebrate talent. We just happen to use industrial products and services to do so. Think about that, right? And I thought to myself, I'm a venture capitalist. All we have is talent. Why are we not thinking about our world that way, right? The output is the money, the whatever. The input is developing potential. Then I saw the movie The Upside, and Bryan Cranston is paralyzed. He's got the inner city, Kevin Hart. He says, why the hell did you pick me? And he goes, I've spent my life identifying talent, identifying potential and realizing it. Right? That is what venture capital is about. And if we're doing our job right, if I'm doing my job right, not only am I helping to realize the potential of the product or the service, but we've now started to develop in our firm the ability to realize the potential of the employees. Michael Dubin, when I was talking to one of our companies, the Dollar Shave Club, I was interviewing him and I said, hey, how could we show up better? And he goes, this is really, really hard. Help my employees become, not just me, but my C-suite, become superheroes, to be the highest version of themselves because damn, this is hard, right? I thought that's impact. It's also helping your customers realize their potential. It's helping your community realize its potential. It's about realizing potential. That is what impact is. And there's a great book by Clayton Christensen in which he talks about how to measure your life. And there are all kinds of things that people talk about in terms of how do you measure your life. And he said, it is the number of people whose lives you have changed for the better within your scope of control. So if you're a janitor, it's the students in your school. If you're Bill Clinton, it's the world, right? And so each of us, as we think about it, how do we become the highest version of ourselves? And in doing so, Jerry Colonna once said to me, he said, Matt, don't worry about saving others. Save yourself and let others watch, right? I thought, well, that took a lot of pressure off me. Of course, it put a lot of pressure then back on me because I had to be the highest version of myself. Why is this important? And also, where's the time clock head? 2 things. One, we're 11 years into a 7-year cycle. What that means is those that can are running up the score, right? I'd fall into that category. And if we're not careful, the concentration of wealth, which is the top 10% own 77% of the wealth right now, the bottom 30% own minus 1.5%. Minus 1.5%. Now, with the 12 revolutions going on, everything's getting digitized and automated. That score is going to go up even higher if we aren't thoughtful about the impact we're going to have. So, I was at Bhutan at the Gross Happiness Congress, and I was listening to the king talk, and he had an interesting comment. What he said was, Bhutan's an interesting country. We're too small to do what America does and to export our culture around the world. However, the flip side of that is we're small enough that we can experiment with things that you can't and then show the rest of the world this is what we did, and then others can learn, right? And so as a result, Seattle and Boeing and these other companies have actually started adopting things that were first developed in Bhutan around contentment, right, and employee satisfaction. And I thought to myself, that is what entrepreneurship is about. Right? You have infinite degrees of freedom. It's Whole Foods deciding that they're not selling lettuce. What they're doing is they're redefining the supply chain, sustainability, company culture, et cetera. But they're starting with a store, and then 2 stores, and then 4 stores, and then 10 stores. And before you know it, Safeway is screwed, right? That's what entrepreneurship's about. That's what I love what I do, but that's why I feel pressure, because there's always at any point in time that Darwinistic down Maslow's hierarchy chipping away of just make money, just survive, just do whatever. So it's that balance of moving up and down that pyramid that is the challenge for entrepreneurs and for all of us on a daily basis, right? When you go to work, you'd like to change the world, and then you suddenly realize you have 55 emails in your inbox, right? And people are yelling at you. So in closing, what I'd like to say is, to me, impact is not just what you're doing, but how you're doing it, how you're showing up, and how you're impacting those around you. Even as Clayton Christensen said, if it's just the 2 people in the cubicles next to you, that's impact. So thank you very much.